Who's the meanest person you've ever loved? My dad wasn't always so mean. He used to sing in the car and make pancakes with smiley faces every Sunday. He read us bedtime stories with different voices and played with us whenever we wanted. But then Mom left us telling Dad he was too boring and nice for her, and how she wanted an adventurous life with some guy on a motorcycle. Something in Dad just broke. When I tried to cheer him up with a drawing I made of our family, he wasn't interested. Not now, I'm busy. But Dad, I insisted. I made you super tall and strong. Dad suddenly raised his voice. I said not now. I stumbled back and hid the drawing in my bag. I thought maybe it was just a really bad time for him. My sister and brother and I spent a whole week making a play for Dad, hoping to help him smile again. We used the couch cushions to make a stage in the living room. My sister made tickets out of construction paper. We practiced every day after school while Dad was at work. Dad, we have a surprise for you, I said after dinner on Friday. We made a play, and you're invited. Dad looked at his phone and got up to leave. I have work to do. It's only 10 minutes, my brother promised. Please? My sister held out the golden ticket she'd made just for him. He sighed and sat down, but kept his phone in his hand. We started the play and watched him scroll through emails in the first half. My sister ended up stopping midway, waiting for him to watch with tears in her ears. Dad, I said, trying to get his attention. Can you please just watch? We worked really hard. He looked up at me with this cold expression. This is ridiculous. I don't have time for games. Then he stood up and walked to his office, leaving us to tear down and throw out everything we prepared for the play. Aunt Melanie visited about 6 months after Mom left to check in on us. She listened to all our complaints about Dad and how he stopped spending time with us. You're turning into your father, she told him. The kids need you, and you're shutting them down just like he did to you. Dad glared at her. Being soft got me nowhere. Look where being nice got me. They need to learn the world isn't kind. Aunt Melanie tried to argue, but Dad wouldn't listen. After she left, he started working even later. We ate leftovers and stared at his empty chair waiting for him to come home. Instead of just being cold, Dad also started becoming aggressive out of nowhere. My little sister asked him to read her a bedtime story, holding out the book we used to read together. You're not a kid anymore, he said, but she was only 7. When my brother got the flu and asked Dad to stay home from work, Dad told him, you're fine. Stop being dramatic. And when I came home crying because kids at school called me names, Dad barely reacted. Stop being so sensitive. Fight back, or they'll never stop. When I couldn't stop crying, he stood up fast. I told you to stop. His hand went up and I flinched. He froze for a second, then lowered it. Go to your room. You're grounded. We eventually just stopped looking for him and started dealing with everyone on our own, without a single adult to rely on. It was lonely, but for the sake of my siblings, I wasn't ready to give up just yet. Father's Day was coming up, and I had this idea that maybe I could remind Dad of who he used to be. I spent 3 weeks making a photo album called Reasons My Dad Is Amazing. I found old pictures from before, when he smiled all the time. I drew pictures and wrote little notes on every page. Dad is amazing because he used to sing in the car. Dad is amazing because he made the best pancakes. Dad is amazing because his hugs made everything better. I felt proud of the outcome, and a bit sad at how different everything had become. I was so nervous at dinner when I gave it to him. I made this for you, I said. He flipped through it, and his face got darker with every page. Why would you show me this? He asked, his voice almost threatening. I thought maybe you'd remember being happy, I said meekly. He slammed the album shut and threw it into the nearest trash bin. That person is gone. He was weak, too nice. Don't you ever bring him up again. He looked at me with eyes like dagger. And grow up already. All the anger and frustration suddenly spilled over inside me. You're so mean. I hate you, I screamed. I hate you. I want my dad back. The room went completely silent. Dad's face seemed to soften from angry to confused, as if something I said struck a chord. He stood there for the longest time, just staring at me like I'd slapped him. His mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. We ran to our room and slammed the door, the 3 of us siblings making a pact never to turn out like our parents while we cried. An hour later, there was a quiet knock on our door. Can I come in? Dad asked. His voice sounded different, smaller. Why? My sister asked through her tears. The door opened slowly, and Dad walked in smiling, his eyes puffy and red like he'd been crying. He got down on his knees next to our beds, holding the album he had retrieved from the trash. I'm sorry, he said. I'm so sorry. I became someone I never wanted to be. He told us about Grandpa, how cold he was, how Dad promised himself he'd never be like that, and so he grew up kind and patient with everyone. When your mom left, it hurt so bad that I thought being cold would protect me, but all I did was hurt you the same way my dad hurt me. That's not your fault. None of this is your fault. It's mine. He started sobbing in front of us. My sister reached out and hugged him. You were so mean, she said, in an honest but gentle tone. Dad pulled all 3 of us in the hug. After a minute, Dad took out his wallet and pulled out an old photo of us at the beach laughing. He placed it in the album. This belongs here.